Guess what? It's almost time for a new avatar. Already. What's up? Welcome to the channel where I talk, you listen. I'm your host Anonymous, and welcome to Disney Weekends. Here we go. We're going to be talking about the new Avatar movie, Fire and Ash. Yeah. Before you strap your Banshee saddle, adjust your eyepiece, or just bond with a random Navi, here's everything you need to know about Avatar Fire and Ash. The third chapter in the Avatar saga is roaring into theaters December 19th. That's right around the corner, guys. And trust me, if you jump in blind, you'll be the person in that theater asking, wait, why is everyone glowing green now? We'll break down the release date, the plot teasers, the key characters, main side weird ones you didn't know about, all of it, all of them. The new clans, the tribes, what changed since the Way of Water, and some juicy predictions. Less quotes, more jokes, more clarity. So strap in because I've got you covered. First, real quick, just a reminder, the Avatar universe has been moving at a speed of geological drift. The first Avatar came out in 2009. Then Avatar The Way of Water dropped in 2022. That's 13 years later. God damn! If you were an adolescent back then, you're a fully grown adult. In The Way of Water, we saw Jake Sully, former human, now full-time Navi, and Neytiri doing their best, navigating the ocean, raising their kids, fighting invaders, and ultimately escaping with heavy scars. And emotional ones, really. Tough, real tough. Most notably, spoiler alert, give you a second there, the Sully family loses their eldest son, Nediam, a death that hangs over Fire and Ash, which was my favorite character in that movie. Why do they have to do my boy like that? So Fire and Ash picks up in the aftermath of grief, in a Pandora no longer simply lush meadows and floating mountains, but one with fire, ash, volcanic volatility, and tribal tension. The sequel is being positioned as darker than its predecessors, which could be a good thing. I don't know how much darker we needed to get. Are we going to lose more family members? Is everyone going to die? Is this Infinity War? So, it's the third film in James Cameron's Avatar saga, with 2 more movies already planned. Avatar 4, supposedly in like 2029, and then Avatar 5 in like 2031. So pretty soon we're going to be moving from 3D to 4D if we haven't already done that. Also, there's the re-release of The Way of Water coming out in October. So I don't know if it's already out. It may be already out in theaters now. But yeah, if you go watch the movie, apparently you get a sneak peek into the new film Fire and Ash, which, I mean, if you feel as though you cannot wait to go see the new one, then of course maybe you need to go back and watch the old one again, get all of the information back so that you're ready to go see the new movie in December. But it's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money being thrown around these days. But yeah, again, you'll get to see an exclusive preview of the new movie if you go see the movie in theaters, which is a smart ploy, I guess. In a business mindset, I feel like, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't we try to do that? Why wouldn't we try to take their money some more? You can watch this movie in your own home on freaking Disney Plus or wherever else you watch movies. I don't know. But it's just, to me, I don't think that is necessary. But if you're a moviegoer and you feel like you need to see it again in IMAX, so be it. All right, so let's talk faces, the familiar and the fresh. Returning Titans, Jake Sully, of course, the ex-Marine, and his family, of course, are returning. I pretty much think everybody is going to be returning back. And then there's the new characters, Palak, a new character, Chieftain of the Wind Traders, also called the Talilim clan. That's what I think it says. He's unbeat, colorful, and brings a nomadic slash trading perspective to the conflict. So, of course, you got other returning names: Stephen Lang, Weaver, Kate Winslet, Cliff Curtis, Joel David. All these people are going to be turning back. If you know any of these characters, you know. So in short, old favorites back in the fray, new faces with new music, new expectations, and probably a few betrayals. The Ash people, aka Ash Clan Manquan. So the Ash people are a Navi faction dwelling around volcanoes and fields. Think Game of Thrones meets Blue Aliens. Led by Vorang, they rejected Iwa, the spiritual force of Pandora, in favor of their own ideology, probably fueled by grief, fire, and resentment. The trailer teaches their aggression, their territory, and their ideology. They aren't just foes with torches, they have fire in their cores. Who knows, they may be the enemy, they may be an ally, they may just play the card where they're just the wild card and they're just like sometimes your ally, maybe your enemy at some point, because it seems to be the thing that no matter where Jake Sully goes, the army follows and destroys everything. Every time he goes somewhere, basically the saying is, destruction follows you everywhere you go. And I think that is the point that they're trying to make. Jake Sully is an unlucky man, and he's gonna find out exactly how unlucky he is. But the focus in Fire and Ash seems more internal. Navi versus Navi, ideology versus faith, grief versus hope. So there's likely to be emotional and philosophical arcs moving forward. Grief and healing, Jake and Terry raising kids while grieving over a son. How do you move forward when the wound is still fresh? Identity of belonging, Spider's inner conflict. As we all know, that Spider is the son of the army man. Yeah. Is he human? Is he Navi? What side is he on? Faith versus rebellion. The Ash people's rejection of evil will force characters to question their spiritual beliefs. And maybe even, one of the kids might see things the way that the Ash people do. And then they might even stay at the end of the movie as Jake and the rest of the family depart to their next adventure. I'm just throwing, I'm just spitballing here. I don't know what's going to happen exactly, but I think that there's a good chance that maybe someone in their family decides to depart and just be like, you know what, I'm sick of moving around so much. This is my life. This is exactly how I feel. I'm going to stay here with the Ash people. And then, of course, the army's going to show up, because who else is the enemy besides, themselves? So you can expect epic visuals, of course, volcanic landscapes, ash storms, firelit battles, airborne and underwater sequences. Of course, they really dug deep into the animation of the water and the underwater sequences in the second one. So, of course, they're just going to up the ante again. In this one, we might even see some new tech when it comes to fire and lava. The expectations of what those animations, would look like are going to be raised, of course, because that's just what James Cameron does. You can expect more creatures, hybrid beasts, skyships, and visual effects pushing boundaries, pretty much. So, why should you care? Because Fire and Ash is the pivotal point. It's not the emotional it's not the emotional romance or the ocean journey anymore. It's war, philosophy, legacy, and even eco-crisis packaged in a blue skin. I'm just not sure how much darker this is gonna get. Are they saying that they're gonna be in the dark? Or are they saying that the tonality of this movie is gonna be darker than the last, and there's gonna be a lot of horrific visuals and death and more problems that occur with war and imbalance, blood loss. If done right, and let's be honest, it will be. This is going to be one of the best movies of all times, one of the highest grossing movies of all times, and probably get rewatched 1,000 times. I don't know. All we know is that there's going to be beautiful world building, a lot of chemistry between characters, a lot of new tech and design, A lot of things we haven't seen before from previous movies. And the occasional different colored clan member. I don't know, green. I think they're red, purple. So we've covered the release date, character roster, new clans and conflicts, plot teasers, predictions, and why it matters. If I left anything out, blame the ash storms when Avatar Fire and Ash lands December 19, 2025. You'll walk in smarter, you'll catch Easter eggs. So get ready, brush up on your Navi, and maybe practice holding your breath underwater. Because this trip to Pandora, it's about to get hot. Literally. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more videos just like this. If you want, you can leave a comment down below. Subscribe. Tell your friends and family to subscribe. Send this video to everybody. All your friends. Yeah. Cool. Be nice to each other out there. Show you boys some love and peace.